Okay, this is Modesty, and welcome, ladies, to Celebrity Spotlight Live Conversations for Adult Situations. I have on the line this evening, Lady C, Miss Crystal, and Miss Martina Morgan. How are you, Martina?
I am great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Ladies, thank you again for participating in this conference call. And as I forestated the other day, I respect your time and your schedule. And the next time we decide to do this, we will definitely give you enough notice. And if you're able to participate, that's fine. And if not, that's fine too. Our topic for this evening, and I can't wait to tackle it, is called, who's that laughing? Is it possible to be in love? In love. We're talking about not on the outside of love, but in love with more than one person at the same time. And to get this party started, ladies, either one of you can answer it first, and then we'll take it from there. In love. What is in have either of you ever been in love? I mean,
yes.
In love.
Yes. And the answer to your question is no. It's impossible.
It's very impossible.
Okay.
Very impossible.
You can only love one person. In love.
You can love many, but you can only be in love with one.
Right. Correct. I agree.
Okay. You can't be in love with more than. So a person says, you know what, I'm in love with Jim. I'm in love with Douglas, and he does this for me. He does that for me. I'm in love. There's no way.
No.
So there has to be a number one.
Right. Always.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
In love is that warm, fuzzy feeling. It's a totally different situation.
Right.
It's not even about what he's doing for you. He giving me this, he giving me that. The bar is so high.
Yeah. Very high.
When
get
you
all
say the
warm
bar
and fuzzy inside, and you're acting crazy, and your heat is rising, and your temperature is high, and all of that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's in love.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
mm-hmm.
What is the opposite of that? I'm sure you've heard of it too. Is in lust.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I've been in lust now.
You can be in lust with many.
So both of you have worked both sides of the
Yes. Yes.
Y'all work both sides of the show. Okay.
Yes.
You've been in love, and then you've also been in lust. In love, there are a lot of emotions. Some people say you can't even define love. That's what some people say. And then also when people say that they are in love, I define it as being with someone who you can live without, but you feel as though you don't want to live without. That's how you know when you are in love with someone, because those fuzzy feelings make you feel good, and it gets the dopamine and all those other things moving and going. But sometimes, you tell me, ladies, does the high ever come down?
Does the high ever come down?
Right. You're in love. Yes. In love now. In love now. Go ahead.
I would say yes, the high does come down, but that's kind of a tricky question. I would say, in my experience, the high does come down, but then there are certain things that person can do, that he can do, that just, bring back that high. A memory of something can bring back the high. Even after you've broken up, you can still be in love.
Right. And or a song, a special song.
Yeah.
If you and this person always did a lot of activities together, like going to the museum, going to the park, going to the restaurant, every time you see that restaurant, you're going to always think about that person.
That's true.
Every time you see hear a song, you always think about that person.
Okay, now, ladies, can you be in love without being physical or without crossing that other person's course, if you know what I mean? Because we're talking about feelings.
So. I don't think so, because if you're in love with somebody, you want to be with them physically. You want to be with them physically, because inside your emotions is so deep and your adrenaline is so high, and everything is just tingling inside, and you just got to have that person. You just got to have them.
Okay.
Right. I think you're talking about more of an infatuation. You have to physically, be in that relationship. You just can't be admiring and be in love with someone from afar. If you haven't, like when you're 16, you might be in love with, like my daughter is in love with Brad Pitt. That's an infatuation. She's never had any interaction with this man, but that's just how she feels, and she's 15.
Right.
And I'm glad you brought up that point, because those very two words can be frightening to a man and a woman depending upon their experiences. In love, I acquainted with the word commitment. Now, women basically, generally, if you took a survey, I'm sure 100 out of 100 would say, I don't have a problem with commitment, if you were to ask a woman. But when the shoe's on the other foot and it's a man, it's a totally different story. But in love with a person, you said something about your daughter. She likes Brad Pitt, or she may say, "Oh, I'm in love with him," and that's infatuation. And the word "in" itself means that you are a part of. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If a person says, "I am, in church." Just using that as an example. I am in church. Now, just because a person's in church, it doesn't mean they're part of what's going on, because you can be in church, but your mind can be at Neiman Marcus. You know what I'm saying, ladies?
Right.
Or on a steak dinner.
Yeah,
you're right. You're absolutely
right. Preach. That's right. Go
So,
in church and don't have a clue what the sermon about.
Exactly. You're just in the building per se. But when people say that they're in love, people don't use those words. I don't think people use those words lightly in this. I mean, there's so much going on, I would say, in our society as far as emotions, as far as love and being in love and marriage is concerned. I mean, things are so twisted now when you ask certain people, because we're dealing with a totally different dynamic, of individuals, young people. This young generation is totally different than ours was, when we were growing up. I mean, I would never, ever think I would ever hear someone or even read of a woman asking a man out or proposing. Let me put it, proposing to a man. I mean, if you do it in jest, that's, if you're doing it to be funny, that's something different. You tease one another. But to literally ask a man to marry you, and you take that role as opposed to him doing what we've been taught and what is, natural or normal. But those two words, in love, I think those two words can be tricky too sometimes. Like you said, Martina, infatuation is different from being in love. And how does one know when they have reached the place called there, meaning in love? How did you know, Lady C, that you were in love and you had reached that place, and it wasn't infatuation, and it wasn't lust, and it wasn't because he had biceps or triceps or he had a nice booty? Excuse me, scratch that, but you know what I mean.
I knew because the way the person made me feel, the person made me feel very special.
Yeah.
Because I'm a very affectionate person. The person was very, very affectionate.
Okay.
He was loving. He was caring. He was understanding. He was compassionate. He actually listened to when I talked. And he remembered stuff. He actually remembered things. He simple stuff. Like he remembered what my favorite color was, the favorite foods that I liked, and he would just do like little simple things, to make me happy, to please me. And I knew that Yeah, this is. I'm in love with this person. I'm really, really, truly in love with this person. And when we broke up, it was devastating to me. This is when I was much younger. It was very, very devastating to me because I was young and we had, gone through a lot of things together, and it was very. And I'm sure it was devastating on his part. He wanted to get back together, but after after you can be so much in love with somebody that they can make you so mad that you don't, that love turns into almost like a hate.
Isn't that crazy, though?
Isn't that crazy?
That is so crazy.
That's so crazy. And I was in love with this guy. I mean, truly, we were supposed to get married and everything. And when we broke up, and I think we broke up for about 6 months, and he wanted to get back together, I was not interested in getting back together with him because I had loved him so much and gave my all to him that, when he hurt me, I couldn't trust him no more. And I don't care what he did or whatever he said, I wouldn't let myself trust him again, even though he apologized and he was doing all what he was doing. I couldn't do it anymore. And I knew that, that was really love. And then I said, wow, will I ever love someone like that ever again? I'm hoping and praying that I can, and that it will actually be the real thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that we don't break up, and that we will grow old together.
Right, exactly. I understand. I believe God's going to honor that prayer for you, Lady C. And Miss Martina, how did you know you had reached the place called in love? How did you know?
It was a lot of the little things. It was the phone call in the middle of the day while I'm at work, and when I would hear his voice, I would just be giddy, like just silly.
You would melt.
I was like, am I 16 again? What is going on? I would just be so giddy. And it was just the little things, like they'll open the car door for me, and because I'm old school, and just all those little things. It just was that feeling that I had inside, and that when we was apart, if I traveled somewhere, how I would miss him, and when I got back, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm going to see him tonight, something like that. I was just overwhelmed with giddiness. So I really knew I was in love, and my story is similar to yours. And when we broke up, although we got kids together, now I can't get rid of them, and I don't really, it's like now I can't get rid of him. I still love him, but because he did me wrong, I can't let that go. But I'm sometimes think about, oh my God, if we can get back what we had 20 years ago. That would be great, but it can't happen. But I still love him. And you know what else I'm finding hard? I'm finding it hard to date other men.
I was going to ask you that. That was my next question.
That can treat me at the level that he had me at. Oh, my God.
Wow.
It's like, God, what are you doing?
Do you ever talk to him about that, Martina?
Yeah, because we're best friends now, and he hasn't been with anybody in a while. But to me, he's very immature. Also, you got some men, and he's one of them that's very immature in the love department. Meaning he got hurt. He was married for a year, and his wife cheated on him. They got married when they was 22 or something, and she cheated on him. And although he let me in years later when I met him, it's just that he still can't get over that to me. And so I don't know.
Wow. That was going to be my next question because sometimes I believe women, okay, that's what I'm going to ask. You said you still love him, but have you fallen, but evidently you've fallen out of love as far as being in love with him.
Right. I want to say sometimes I think I'm 50-50 because if he could change some of his ways,
yes,
then and we can rekindle what we had all those years ago, then I'm all in. I'll do whatever I have to do to make it work. But I do love him.
Yes.
I don't know. It's just a crazy situation.
Mm-hmm.
There's no
It's
sex involved,
though.
no nothing. Huh?
It's understandable, though. It's understandable.
Yeah, but it's no sex involved, no
Right.
kissing involved. You know, it's all about, we have 3 girls, and that's it. It's about the kids, and it's just a weird thing. And my girlfriends say that we have a